Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Toshiba satellite S55-C5274. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is remove all the screws from the bottom. We're using a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver. You want to keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that, is I put them flat side down like this. In the pattern I remove them. Alright, so I'm going to move that aside so I have more room. Alright. So we're just going to go in a row, even though it's slightly lower, we're going to count that as one row. So we're going to say there's 4 along the back where the hinges are. Okay. So let's go ahead and remove all of those. Okay. The customer had these screws removed before, and I noticed they put one screw that actually pushed through the bottom of the cover, so it actually made a dent. Let me show you what I mean. So this is why it's important to put the right screws back where you got them. So there's this little dent here, and that's caused by, using a screw that's too long where it shouldn't go. Alright, so now that we got those 4 out, I think we can remove the battery. Yep, so the battery comes out just like this. There's a model number here on the battery, PA5185U-1BRS. You do want to check your own battery to make sure it's the same. But there we go. All right. Next, we're going to remove the 3 going along here. Okay. Let's go ahead and remove those 3 screws. All right. And that's the super long screw that shouldn't be over there. So I'm not sure where exactly the screws should be that they took out. I'm going to guess the longer ones are probably for the back, but again, the customer removed it before telling me, so I don't know where it actually came from. Maybe they got a replacement screw and that screw is not even from this computer, I don't know. But anyways, we remove that, then we're going to remove the 4 down here. If this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Right, these are, again, customer computers, so I don't own them. So other than the disassembly, I'm probably not going to know too much about them. Anyways, let's go ahead and pull the CD drive out. I believe this screw is for that. So, yep, as you can see, now we can pull that out. And there are some screws under here that we're going to remove as well. They are PH0 or JIS0 screws, though. So make sure you switch to the right size screwdriver. Okay. If you use the wrong size screwdriver, you can damage the screws, and then you might not be able to remove the screws at all. Right, so there's 3 screws under here, it seems. And then let's go ahead and pop this cover up. So I like to get in the gap here. We might not have even had to remove those 3 screws, but what I did was I pulled up with this and pushed with my thumb, and here you can see the cover's kind of popping up. You can wiggle this, and there we go. We got the bottom cover off. Okay, we'll set that aside. So we're just going to look inside. There's a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. Let's go ahead and pull the Cmos battery out. So the battery's right here. Let me zoom in and see if I can show you guys this stuff. I don't have too much desk space here, so we're going to just see here. All right, so we'll push this battery in slightly and then lift it out. You want to grab that. And I'm going to drain the BIOS battery just in case, because it's having an issue, it's not booting up right. So in some cases, resetting this might help. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch a metal thing to this part, these pins here, and to here. I'm using 2 screwdriver pieces, and I'm just touching them together. So that way it shorts it out, and it will drain the Cmos or BIOS battery. Okay, and this will reset the BIOS settings and the date and time, so keep that in mind if you do this. Alright, so this computer, the screen is just staying, or the screen is black, the power button lights up, and the BIOS or the caps lock button lights up, but other than that, nothing's happening. Alright, anyways, we're just doing a quick look inside. So this is a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. We're going to pop this out. So there's these rubber pieces. You can pull these up. Okay, once you pull those rubber pieces up, we can actually slide the hard drive back. Okay, so try and push this back. There we go. Okay, and once you pull that back, you can actually pull the hard drive out. I don't know why it's not. There we go. All right, and yeah, they did a lot of stuff here So these pieces just hold in with rubber nubs. So if you want, you can transfer this over to a new hard drive. Again, there's a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. You can upgrade it to a 2.5-inch SATA SSD. We're just going to push it back into place for now and put these rubber pieces back in. So let's get that back in place. So whoever worked on this before kind of made everything all messed up, but right, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and try and get that back in. Why is it all this rubber thing? They smashed it weird, so now it's difficult to get this back. There we go. Okay, this side seems okay. There we go. All right, you got the keyboard connector here with a flip latch to release it. Trackpad connector here. CPU is soldered into the motherboard. 4 screws. If you want to redo the thermal paste, you can kind of twist and pull this up. You might have to actually take the fan out to get the heatsink out of the way as well. All right, you got 2 sticks of RAM here. We're going to pull that out. In some cases, it could be the RAM that's bad, which is having the symptoms that's showing. So we're just going to take it out and then reseat them. If you're wondering the type of RAM, actually, let me see here. So I don't know who worked on this before, but they put all these stickers on everything. And whoa, what happened to this RAM? It's like it melted. So I'm going to try without this RAM. Maybe something happened to it. But this is PC3L 12800S. So this DDR3 RAM. All right, you can put any PC3L 12800S. You can put 2 8GB sticks if you want, but yeah. All right, you got this connector here. I believe that's the power button. Yeah, it is power button. You got this small connector going for the speakers here. All right, sorry. Then you got the fan. It looks like a screw's missing. There's the fan connector right there. You got the LCD LVDS connector here. If you mess with this, make sure to disconnect the battery and then open the laptop and press and hold the power button for about 15 seconds before removing this. Otherwise, there's a chance you can actually short something out and fry the screen or the motherboard. All right, you got this DC jack or the charge port connector cable here. And it plugs in over here. This one, it looks like you can just pop it up. Yep, you kind of have to wiggle it and pop it out, but I'm going to leave that in there. You got this connector here for the I/O board for the Ethernet port, USB 3.0, and it looks like there was supposed to be another USB port here, USB 3 port here, but they didn't put it, so yep. All right, what else we got? We got this connector, I think also going into the screen, probably for the camera and things like that. Wireless card is underneath this cable here. I'm not going to mess with that. If you want to know how to remove that, I have other videos on other laptops. And then you have these indicator lights down here. Okay, hopefully I got everything in view of the camera. I didn't realize I was zoomed in so far. Anyways, let's check the Cmos battery just to see what's going on. You normally want this to be about 3 volts or a little bit higher, 3.3 volts. Okay, so let's go ahead and check it. Oops. Okay, so it's a little over 3 volts. That's a little bit low, but it should be okay. So let's go ahead and put this battery back in, and I'm gonna test it real quick. So he gave me the charger. I'm gonna test it without the battery, or without the main battery. We're gonna put the Cmos battery in. It goes in at an angle like that, and then you can click that down. All right, I'm gonna slowly, carefully open this thing up. Let's zoom out a bit. Actually, let me get a thumbnail here. So let's zoom out more. Okay, and maybe right there. Zoom out a tiny bit more. Okay, so we'll get a thumbnail there. Okay, let's go ahead and carefully open this up. You want to be careful because now it's missing a hinge screw on each side. So we're gonna slowly, carefully open this. Okay, and let's go ahead and plug the charger in and see what we got here. So we got the charger plugged in. You can see the charge light is on right there. So let's push the power button and see if anything happens. I still see the caps lock light permanently green. So something is definitely dead. Seems like a motherboard issue. Let's go ahead and turn this off again. All right, we're going to carefully close this And let's go ahead and try removing this stick of RAM. I don't know if that's a RAM issue that it's reporting, but just to be safe, I'm gonna try. Let's try another stick of RAM, the one that had the burnt stuff, and let's see if there's any change. If that doesn't work, we're gonna try another BIOS battery. Same thing, the green lights are on, nothing is happening. Okay, so we're gonna shut this off again. The fan is spinning, but other than that, nothing is happening. Okay, just to rule out a BIOS battery issue, I'm gonna try another BIOS or Cmos battery. But I doubt that's gonna fix anything. So if it doesn't work, I mean, this is a really old laptop. I'm gonna rule it out as a motherboard issue if that's the case, and we'll consider it not worth repairing. So let's go ahead and try a Cmos battery here. Okay, so we're gonna pop this battery out. Okay, we'll try another battery. This one has 3.3 volts. So let's go ahead and open it up and power it up and see if there's any change. No change. Still has the numlock light is green and the caps lock light is green, and nothing happens when you push them. So it looks like this is a motherboard issue, probably not worth repairing. Yeah, we're just going to consider it not repairable. I'll let the customer know. This is an old laptop, so I wouldn't recommend fixing it, because fixing these basically costs the same as fixing a new one, so it doesn't really make sense to put the money into such an old laptop unless there's something special about it. The hard drive itself, you can actually pull out and get all the data. It's a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. Again, you can put an SSD if you want, and then they do have USB adapters and enclosures, so if you want to read that with another computer, you can. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. Looks like there's some internal hardware issue. So let's go ahead and put this thing back together, and we'll call it that. All right. Just snap everything back in. Make sure to put back these 3 screws under here. Again, these are PH0 or JS0 screws. Excuse me. Okay, and then we're going to switch back over to the PH1 or JS1 screwdriver. Alright, let's get the CD drive back in. Just get that in. Make sure you put it the right way. Alright, you might have to wiggle it a little. Okay, got that in. Make sure everything is snapped in right. Then we can go ahead and get the battery back in. Make sure you don't put it in upside down. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Let's get all these screws back in. Hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. But other than that, you can stay while I put back the rest of the screws. But that's pretty much it. Alright. Let's get all these last few screws in. Alright, almost there. Last 3 screws. Alright, last one. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Alright, let's drop this. Bye.